Hello and welcome to Fiona Explores. I've been travelling for years, capturing stories, memories, special moments and seeking out hidden gems, and I'm so excited to finally share them here with you on YouTube. On this channel I'll be bringing you travel stories, the good, the hilarious and even the bad, along with practical tips to make your adventures both magical and manageable. And where better to begin than somewhere truly unique? Venice, a city that's part dream, part labyrinth and unlike anywhere else in the world. I've also written 2 blogs to go alongside this video, the top 10 things to do in Venice and Venice Unveiled, a dreamy journey through a floating city. Plus a link to my 3-day itinerary guidebook. You'll find them all below the comments. But for now, let's step straight into Venice together. Let's start with a few essentials that'll give you a feel for the heart of the city. Venice isn't just a city though, it's an experience. Imagine walking out your door, but instead of the usual street filled with cars that we have, you're greeted by canal and gondolas just passing past ancient palazzos. No trip to Venice would be complete without seeing St. Mark's Square, with its beautiful Basilica di San Marco and the grand Doge's Palace beside it. These landmarks are breathtaking, but they can get busy, so go earlier in the morning or after the crowds fade in the evening. Then there's the Rialto Bridge, one of Venice's most iconic spots. Cue Instagram picture time. But no, don't just stop at the bridge itself, wander further right through to the Rialto market. This is where the locals buy their fish, fresh fruit and vegetables, and it'll give you a chance to have that taste of everyday Venetian life that most visitors miss. Before I get into the top highlights, let's take a second to support the channel by clicking like, subscribe and hitting that notification bell. Venice is packed with incredible experiences, but here are the 10 that really stood out for me. Start with a Vaporetto ride down the Grand Canal. A Vaporetto it's Venice's version of a bus, basically on the water. It's the most affordable way to get that postcard perfect view of the city from the water, and you can actually, if the seats are available, sit at the front or the back, which I love doing when I had the chance because it really helps you get as well as the really nice view, some beautiful photographs. At number 2, I would highly suggest climbing St. Mark's Campanile. This is a tall bell tower beside the Basilica. It's Venice's highest point and it offers sweeping views over the rooftops, the lagoon, and on a clear day you can see right out to the mountains in the distance. Number 3, although mentioned earlier, it really is essential to go inside the Doge's Palace. This palace is built in Venetian Gothic style. It's got golden halls and dramatic artwork, tells stories of power and intrigue. The Great Council Chamber is one of the largest and most important rooms, richly decorated with incredible artwork, and was once the meeting place of Venice's ruling elite. Take a moment to read a little history before you go. It'll make everything inside come alive. At number 4, walk across the Bridge of Sighs. The Bridge of Sighs was constructed in 1602 by Antonio Contino, and it's sitting just beside the Doge's Palace. It once carried the prisoners from the courts to their cells. The last view of Venice was framed by tiny stone windows. They say those sighs gave the bridge its name, though today, legend has it, lovers who kiss beneath it at sunset share an unbreakable bond. So grab your other half and go. On the Grand Canal lies the Peggy Guggenheim collection. Please, nobody laughing at my pronunciation there. But this is one of Europe's finest modern art museums. and inside you'll find masterpieces by Picasso, Dali, Pollock and Kandinsky. They were all once part of Peggy's personal collection. It's intimate, creative and deeply personal, a glimpse into the life of a woman who helped shape 20th century art in Venice. The museum also hosts wonderful temporary exhibitions, so I highly recommend this one if you're an art lover. Just a short boat ride from Venice is the island of Murano. For centuries, master artisans have shaped molten fire into delicate beauty, chandeliers, beads, sculptures, you name it. Even today, the furnaces burn on. They're keeping this ancient craft alive. And if you've never watched glass blowing live before, I highly recommend you do it here. A little further across the lagoon lies Burano, a burst of colour and calm. Rainbow houses line the quiet canals, each painted bright for fishermen to find their way home through the fog, not just for decoration as many may believe. Burano is also famous for lace making, but if I had to describe it in one line, I'd say Burano feels like Venice's bright, peaceful sister. Next up is number 8. I suggest that you spend some time in the Galleria di Accademia. This is where Venetian art truly shows the pace of the city. It's calm, filled with masterpieces that remind you Venice isn't just about canals. It's also built on creativity. A perfect escape when you need a pause from the busy streets outside. Number 9 may be biased, but as a book lover, I had to include the quirky Libreria Acqua Alta. Here, books are stacked in bathtubs and gondolas. It's Venice's bookshop, but this isn't just for decoration and just to scream I am Venice. It's actually to protect the books from the flooding. And yes, there are even residents' cats lounging around in there among the shelves. And then at number 10, maybe one that's definitely not on everybody else's list, but I would say finally take a sunset stroll along the Zatar promenade. Locals gather here by the waters to unwind as the sun sets over the island. Here, Venice is at its most peaceful, the city glowing, gondolas drifting, life moving slower. It's a beautiful place. For me, these aren't just attractions, they're experiences that let you connect with the rhythm of the city. Some of my favourite moments in Venice, though they weren't in the guidebooks, they weren't the usual suggestions, they were when I just went wandering down the little side streets, across the little bridge with no name, or even a name that I'd never heard of, or I found myself in a quiet little square with you might just hear a splashing of oars in the distance. But if you want to feel like a local, step into a Baccaro. A Baccaro, it's a traditional Venetian bar. Here you could order a spritz, a glass of local wine, and try some cicchetti. My particular favourites were crostini with truffle, marinated seafood, and creamy mozzarella. It's very simple and casual, but it's so very Venetian. Next, as a suggestion, I would say cross over to the Dorsoduro district. This is a favourite among locals, full of art studios, peaceful canals, and a slower rhythm of life that feels worlds away from St. Mark's Square. Wander along its quiet lanes, peek into the artisan shops, and let yourself discover one of the most authentic corners of Venice. These little hidden corners, off the beaten path little walks and little rituals, for me, are just important as the big landmarks. Maybe even more so because they help you truly feel a place rather than just tick off your bucket list what you've seen. Now on to a few practical things and a few practical tips. The best time to visit is spring and autumn. Summer, of course, is beautiful, but it's hot and extremely busy. Winter, not as good as spring and autumn, but that mistiness can give its own romantic feel in its own way. Here, I would highly recommend taking a refill of a water bottle. Venice has 3 drinking fountains throughout the city. It's safe, clean, tastes good, and ticks that eco-friendliness because they are so available. I also recommend bringing comfortable shoes with grip because the paving can get slippery, especially after rain or a high tide. Which brings me on to my next practical tip. This is one of them places to pack an umbrella. You might catch the famous Acqua Alta when the wooden walkways appear across St. Mark's Square. And one you probably don't expect to need so much in a city, but I do need to recommend that you download an offline maps because the GPS signal often drops in narrow alleys and near the canal. Mindy had lots of no signal moments when we were there. For me, Venice isn't just a destination, it's like a dream city you get to walk through. You can guess it stole my heart a little, and I have a deep love for this city. It's a floating city full of stories, beauty, surprises at every corner. I'd go back at the drop of a hat. If you'd like to explore more, you'll find links below to the top 10 things to do in Venice and Venice Unveiled, a dreamy journey through a floating city, plus my 3-day itinerary guidebook. If you made it this far, thanks for joining me on this Fiona Explores video, and until next time, keep exploring.